I said in the last video I was going to talk about schools, and I never got to that, never got back to it. So, real quick, um, my view of the school system in the United States, the public school system, most private schools also, and most of the schooling in the world, honestly. Although I haven't been personally involved, I assume it's basically the same. Okay? And that is obviously that, first of all, it is programming. Like I've said in other videos, we went into those school systems being a completely different person than we came out. Coming out of the school system thinking about, oh, what type of job am I going to get? And how much money am I going to make? And I need money to buy these things and all these things. All this type of thing was programmed into us. The whole way of thinking about the government and the world was programmed into us. Now, being that I was in prison, being that I've been in various institutions and I've seen brainwashing and conditioning my whole life, and from a very long term perspective, I've been able to look back and see these things. Therefore, I recognize the heavy conditioning that the school put into us, okay? But not only is it brainwashing and programming, and the exaltation of a certain kind of thought, right? Because rational thinking, the kids that do good in school, the kids that become scientists and physicists and mathematicians and all these, that's only one kind of thinking. That's only one kind of intelligence. And in no way is it the best. And we exalt it, and we exalt those who use it as if it's the greatest, when they are the ones who have created all the world's disasters and tragedies, like nuclear weapons, biological weapons, all the whole industrial revolution and all the pollution that came from it, and all these ideas, including all the corrupt political systems and all these, it all came from this kind of thinking. It is responsible for all the evil and all the darkness in the world. Rational thought, rational thinking, thinking that the mind is the only thing that matters, thinking that the rational mind, the logical, analytical mind, is the only thing that's real, that the heart and the emotions and love don't exist and doesn't matter, that the soul doesn't exist. The materialist view that is propagated in our schools is seriously limiting, damaging, and controlling. So another big thing that they're doing in the schools is separating us, dividing us up, classing us, tagging us, and then going on to manipulate people with different streams depending on their personalities. So again, the kids that they say are smart, although some of them are smart in a certain way of thinking, often are the kids that do good in school, not like the geniuses, but the kids that just do good in school, often those are kids that are just very malleable. That's what they're rewarding first and foremost, is controllability. Individuality, creativity will be crushed. Will be crushed. They make a show of it, but it's always placed secondary, like not even secondary, it's placed last, so everyone knows it's a joke, you know? And just like when you go out into the real world, creativity is only accepted as creative if it has a use, if it has a use to the rational mind and to society. If it can't understand it, it has no use and it's not valid, and that creativity is not funded and explored, you know? So they're trying to divide us, first of all, into smart kids and not smart kids, good kids and bad kids, kids with learning disabilities and not learning disabilities, even though all these kids are perfect. Every one of these kids is a perfect expression of infinite source. They all have a unique talent, but their talent may not be math. It may not be quoting statistics. Their talent may be playing with fairies, or healing, or doing something we haven't even thought of yet. Their talent may be astrology, or understanding the relationships between celestial bodies, or things that we don't even understand fully yet. But these things aren't explored, they're crushed, and we only educate people into a very narrow band of thinking. Okay? Anyone who cannot stay in that box ends up being a bad kid, ends up being one with a behavior problem or a learning disability. Or they end up buying them off and putting them into the entertainment industry or something like that. But generally those kids end up in prison or on drugs, or they're taken care of in the outside, in the outskirts of society. The ones that listen and do as they're told, the ones that turn on their fellow classmates, those are the ones that are put forward. Those are the ones that advance and do good in school, you know. And also those who can completely think in that particular way of rationality, of materiality, of embracing such a limited scope and believing what you're told instantly at face value to be true. Anyways, so that's my view of the schools. Love it.